Hello again, and welcome back. So, where we left off was finishing off shift 3 and trying to figure out timers. I figured it would be a little bit more useful and a little bit more entertaining to just go ahead and try to figure it out live rather than to work it out and try to record it later. So, let's see how this goes. Let's see what changes I made last time. I believe I pulled out all of the timer calls because I was not figuring out why it wasn't working. Let me just make sure that they are all clean. So far it's looking good. Okay. Okay, so it's 3 customers looking good. And 4th one. So cool, I did clear out all the timer calls. Now what I did wrong last time was a basic little logic mistake. Timers of course can track the passage of time. I assumed that the passage of time was moving forward, in other words going 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Actually, the way that this is supposed to work is that it's a countdown timer. So it goes, 10, 9, 8, and so on. So, I was basically starting it at 0, which meant that I started it at the ending, and it was always 0 all the time, and it never got anywhere. So let's try to change this a little bit. And what we're going to do is, whenever the guy orders something, I'm going to add a control timer, start it at 15 seconds. And we should actually see something if what I read is correct. Again, this is not something I normally use, but it is, something useful. Okay, actually, I've pretty much never used it before. I've never gotten it to work right, so this is actually a new thing for me here. Let's see if this works. Hmm. Okay, people moving at high speed. Come on. Come on, customer 1. And we wait. Cool, so there's the little timer clock up in the upper right corner. 15 seconds, totally not enough. So that's how it works. We get the timer clock in the upper right corner. It just counts down. Now, if I'm correct, I'm going to up this to 30 simply because 15 was way too tight. but essentially I want to have them being a little bit more demanding on the speed for the food. So now, if I'm correct, these two timers should conflict with each other and basically reset the same timer value. Here he comes with one. There's two. Yeah, he resets it. I have no idea what this guy asked for. Salad, okay. Yeah, 30 seconds does make more sense. So essentially what we're going to go with is, I'm going to change all these to 30 seconds. The person has 30 seconds from the time of the order to turn in an order. So first we need to make sure that the creation of the timer and the setting of the timer is working properly across all of these instances. And then we'll create a status that causes a negative effect. Which of course, because there's only one thing we're calculating in this game, tips, what we'll do is we'll have the person not get a tip if they fail to deliver within 30 seconds. Which does add, a little bit of urgency to the whole thing. And they're all controlling the same timer. There's only one timer. So all of these events should be writing to and triggering the same timer. Okay, that's all for customers. Let's just see if this is a viable number here. Let's see if we can keep the timer from hitting 0. And I messed up already. So I got 2 pizzas. Yeah, it's really tight. But that's the challenge. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something there because that's just a little bit too fast. It's the right timing, but I need to stop and restart the timer. Let me see. Mm, Ideally, I would stop it and then just restart it. I think the stop just clears it though. So instead what I'm going to do is, we've got this guy up here doing absolutely nothing. So we're going to do a conditional branch. If timer is less than or equal to 0, in other words, time's run out, we're going to set a control switch, which is going to be a new one, by the way. Called timeout. And that's all it's going to do, is if the timer hits 0, time's out. Which is basically going to be just a full clear. Everyone's just going to bail. And this was evil guy, right? This guy right here. This is going to be parallel. Copy this chunk of movement. Copy the reset switches. And that's it, it's done. Very simply, he gets angry and he leaves. And then we set this value back to being off. Actually, I want to turn the timer off at this point too. That way I clean up some space. Now we're going to do the same for the next guy. Actually, let me cancel that out. If timeout is set, this guy is... I forget which guy this is. I think it's this guy. Yes, it is. And again, we're going with parallel. Slightly more polite, but the same basic structure here. We're actually going to grab this whole chunk here. Turn off the timer. Set the switch back to off. So in other words, they complain, they leave, everything gets reset, and we're done. I'm pretty sure there's an additional transparency effect here. Okay, I do account for that. That's okay. Just wanted to make sure. And did I match the process there? Leave, reset, and done. Okay. And let's see. So this is people 3, I believe. Grab a huge chunk of stuff from here. Turn off the timer. Turn off the switch. And that should be... hold on a second. Turn off the switch. That should be it. Just making sure I said to turn them off on all these other ones too. Yes. Okay. Okay, there's the text. The exit. The disabling of the timer. And the disabling of the switch. And let me set this again, parallel and through. Yep, parallel and through. through. Parallel and through. Okay. So now, if I run out of time, they should all storm out on me and start over. Hopefully this will work out properly this time. Of course, it would be better to have more unique timers, but this should be sufficient. I'll let all of them fill in before I start going. And here we go, right to left. That person wants a salad. That's another salad. Okay, some bread. Cool, so that does freeze it. Some chicken nuggets. Another order of chicken nuggets. And a salad. And now they should all bail. Wow. Well, that didn't quite work out right. The complaints triggered right, well, for the most part. I do need to have a few more checks in there. This guy's just all sorts of wrong, but let's take a look. Customer 1 ready. That should fix the first issue. That way we shouldn't have a customer leaving who isn't there. That doesn't really make any sense. But the next problem was they essentially let me see. I really need to set another setting. So I'll stop the timer, but I'm not going to reset the switch from here. Instead, I'm going to set a new switch and have the other one check for it. So very simply, if the guy isn't actually there, he's just already out, so I can just set the flag for him being out. That's fine. And again, we're going to go with customer 2 being out. And new page on timeout. So that customer 2 is being out. And let's see, if he isn't there, then he isn't there. We'll just set it. Hoping that doesn't set a precedence issue on the last one, but we shall see shortly. Actually, we need to set the timer and set customer 4 out. Then we go back here. And this will be a very long sequence. Customer 1 is out. If customer 2 is out. If customer 3 is out. If customer 4 is out. In other words, if all 4 customers are out, we stop the timer and reset the switch. So in other words, this event will literally just be waiting for all the customers to leave. Hopefully that shouldn't cause them to do the stupid pathing issues we were seeing earlier. And here we go. Let's get them all filled in. Something is up with customer number 3. So I messed up number 3 somehow. I'll have to fix that. No, he's there now. Okay, dude wants a salad. That went way too fast. Yeah, it stopped the timer alright, but it's not setting things quite right. So let's take a look. If timeout is set, turn this on. If it's set and the customer's ready, complain. I was right. There is a precedence issue. And I need to set all these switches to off. Otherwise, the first time the timer counts out, it's just going to assume everyone's left already. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I forgot to set these to off. That should help clean that up at least a little bit. But I think what's happening is that the front event is occurring before the other one. I'll talk to this guy, get things going. Okay, he's not ready yet. Okay, now we time out on the chicken nuggets. If it's working the way I want, they should all storm out. If it's a little bit off, which I think it might be, we should get a generic bah statement, which is what's probably going to happen. But I want to know in 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Which one do we get? Yep, there it is. So what's happening is it's picking up the last page rather than the previous page because the conditions are less. Uh, okay, rearranging them just a wee bit. This should hopefully fix the precedence issue. Yep, that's a problem. It's checking to see if it's there or not. Oh, I have an empty tab here. That's not good. That would definitely do it. Okay. Let us try this again. Now we let the salad time out. Hey, you did the right thing. The rest of them are all messed up. Cool. So I'm going to swap these pages then. Uh, so, okay. So the nice thing is it's calculating precedence based on page number. So the higher the page number, the higher the precedence. In other words, whatever is occurring next is what gets picked up. Which is actually really helpful. That fixes all sorts of issues with timing. So they did that very well. In previous versions, it did not quite go according to plans. So again, we look around for somebody who wants to eat something, and then we just don't deliver and see if they all storm out. Okay, this guy's angry. Okay, so that's a problem. So that worked for the moment. If timeout is set, this guy needs to sit perfectly still and not do anything. I think it was one of the actors. Or here he is, custom boss. There we go. He's literally just going to sit there and do absolutely nothing. This will stall out any of the other processing. At least it should. And prevent it from kicking anything else out. Because that's what happened there, is the first guy left and came back before everybody else had finished leaving. So what should happen is all 4 of these customers should run out, and none of them should come back until everything is cleared out. And timeout. Ooh, that didn't finish. Why did that not finish? Yeah, it triggers once, but that's okay. Problem is this guy did not turn off his transparency effect. Why did he not turn it off? So he went to leave, and he just sat there. Hmm, that worries me a little. It's probably because I turn off customer ready up front. I probably need to move that back down. Let's try this again. Should take him just enough time to get back. I'm going to move that down on all of them just because that could be an issue. Because basically what happens is that at one point this trigger is reset, but the processing is continuing, which means that if there's a second event tick, essentially if the event processor for the game kicks in and goes to check on the status again, this event is no longer valid while it's running because the trigger is not there anymore. So I just moved the trigger to the end so that we wouldn't have to race and finish the event before the game's event handler decided to process it again. That should clean it up. Let's see if I can do a single level of this without messing up. I'm going to go ahead and pre-stock just in case. We have our magical little waitress, so she can carry an infinite amount of dishes. We might as well make use of that fact. So here's our inventory. We got bread, pizza, chicken, and salad. Let's see what people want. Wow, everybody wants chicken nuggets today. A full clear and a reset. Let me restock a bit. Oh, it canceled for some reason. Why did it cancel? What's up with this guy though? That's what's wrong. So, that wait state's breaking it. I have to finish walking. Oh, sure, there's a wait on that. Yeah. Wait. Then set it. Then go. Otherwise, it's not on. Yeah, this guy does nothing on that state. He just sits there. That's okay. But this one, if 1, 2, 3, 4 and on, is on. Oh. Same thing right here. Yeah, let's try again then. So, the trigger switch is this timeout switch. We had it being reset at the beginning, which meant that the other ones were not being reset before the timer ran out. That is one of the issues with this. Timing is sequential, so it's going to run into issues like that. It's essentially a race condition, but without changing the engine, I can't do much about it. Let's see if we can complete a level. So we got some bread, chicken nuggets. pizza. And some salad. Trying to play this a little bit smarter. So bread and pizza. Pizza and chicken nuggets. Boom. Okay. That went clean. What do I have? 2 chicken nuggets, a pizza, and a salad. let's get some bread. So 2 of the chicken nuggets. Pizza and a salad are pending. Salad and bread. Bread and pizza. Get 2 pizzas. Okay, bread and salad. Bread, a salad, and chicken nuggets. Haha. Cool, that worked. So there we have it. we have successfully completed level 3. Next time we'll move on to the most interesting of what I have planned, level 4, which will be pretty fun, hopefully. Should be quite entertaining. Um, at least we've been able to increase the difficulty level as we go along. So we start out with simple mechanics, then some more interesting way of handling triggers, and then finally some time-based events and little issues with that. Up next, we're going to add a few events or a few event options that don't give you anything. We don't really need to use the timer, but we will be making use of hopefully some interesting triggering options. But we'll see how that goes. So for now anyway, good night.